Okay, we are rolling. Wheels up. My name is Fraser Allport. I'm the owner of the Total Advisor, LLC, a Social Security, Medicare, income tax, estate planning, and retirement planning firm, all in one, in Daytona Beach, Florida. That's right, folks. I've been a fiduciary 43 years. Take a look at my website, fraserallport.com, and you'll see the experience. There's an old phrase that says, I've been taping all day. There's an old phrase that's number one. We'll call it a 99, not perfection. There's an old phrase that says, it ain't bragging if it's true. So today is part 2 of what's a fiduciary and why you want to work with a fiduciary. I would also stress you want to work with a fiduciary who's independent. They don't work for a big banker firm, and they're not a big banker firm. Think about it. Do you really want your fiduciary to be beholden to the big bank, the big corporation, the people they work for heaven's sakes? At the end of the day, their paycheck has the name of some big bank or big company on it. They may be a fiduciary in name and title, and they may have their license, but wow. Big banks, big corporations, I think you're just a number. You want to work with an independent fiduciary like myself, somebody who owns their own business, someone who is their own boss. We answer to the person in the mirror, right? Makes common sense. I won't belabor the point, but when you're searching for, well, actually I will belabor the point. I am. When you're searching for a fiduciary, one of the primary first filters is independent. They own their own firm. Period. That's it. They're a fiduciary who works for themselves. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, and I've written down these bullet points. Folks, I always come prepared. I always bring notes. I love to teach, and whenever I'm working with a client, I ask them to grab a piece of paper and a pen, because teaching and learning is a two-way street, and it's always written down. You know, I heard once that auditory recall, what you hear, 70% of it's gone within 3 days. You remember about a third of what somebody said to you just 3 days ago. So I write things down. I'm not using a script. I'm giving you notes. It's called preparation. That's the hallmark of a professional, to come prepared, make it succinct. And folks, if you don't have a piece of paper and a pen and a calculator, you want to grab one. Calculator just in case you want to add up whatever number. So, you know what a fiduciary is. I also have the first, that's number 2. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I got so much in my head that I want to share with you and convey to you. It's like I want to give you 43 years all at once. So, folks, whenever I trip over my tongue, and I'm not Mr. Perfect, you don't want someone who thinks they're perfect, number 1. And number 2, I'm just being real. So I'm trying to get you 43 years of knowledge in about a 5-minute video. Okay, fiduciary, person you trust, a person of trust, legally, ethically, morally, spiritually, every way, your best financial friend on the planet, your fiduciary, your independent fiduciary. Number 2 is what's called a duty of care. Speaks for itself. A fiduciary has a duty to care for you, to really care for you. Again, at every single level, including great customer service. Just concierge kind of service where your clients are family. Now, I have a very small boutique practice. I have a very few number of clients. I don't take on many clients. The ones I do are the people I really like from the get-go. And with them, there's 98. My clients feel the same way, that from the get-go, it was meant to be. It was a good, strong relationship and rapport. So duty of care also involves what's called duty of loyalty. Think about that. Loyalty. I'm Scottish. Loyalty is who Scots are. Loyalty. When was the last time you even heard that word or read it? The word loyalty. But loyalty, again, like trust, one word, that's it. Says it all. Everybody knows what it means. A duty of care is a duty of loyalty. Again, your fiduciary, if you are able to find a independent fiduciary, like me, but if you're able to find an independent fiduciary, all kidding aside, maybe you're in a different state, although I can work in all 50 states, but somebody wants somebody down the street, that's fine. Hopefully this video helps you find that independent fiduciary, but whoever you are, wherever you are, get an independent fiduciary like you have a CPA and a lawyer. Get a money person involved. A lawyer knows the law. CPA adds up all the numbers and the tax codes. Get a money person, a money manager involved in your financial affairs. Okay? So there's the lesson, duty of care and loyalty is, as I always say, you've got to be a part of it. You've got to be involved. Oh, I'm at 6 minutes, so I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to keep on talking about fiduciary in a whole series here. You'll probably see 7, 8, 9 of them in this blue shirt. I'm just knocking them out one at a time, but I just noticed the clock. It's 6 minutes and 29 seconds. I'll go to 7. How about that? I'll go to 7 and I'll wrap up the big takeaways. Do indeed look for a fiduciary online. Somebody who has that licensing, that education. And folks, that's what it is to be a fiduciary. It's all about licensing, and that comes from studying for the test. And then there's continuing education every year. And on top of that, at the state and federal level are endless rules, regulations regarding fiduciaries. I can't get out of bed in the morning without some regulator's permission, but that's a good thing. It's like medicine. You want people regulated because you want to get the best. And when it comes to your health and your wealth, it's good to ask that people be licensed. And by the way, if you talk with somebody who's in the financial arena, financial services, the industry, ask them why they're not a fiduciary if they're not. Really, I mean, I'd be curious to know what the answer is. Why are you not a fiduciary? Because as I mentioned in a prior video, many, many years ago when I became a fiduciary, I was out in the wilderness. There were just a handful of us who saw the future and said, people will want this. They want ultimate trust. They want ultimate service. They want someone to really shelter them from the wind and protect them like a shepherd protects their flock. That kind of attitude. And that's me. That's how I feel. It runs through me like a river, you can tell. But I'm passionate about my clients. I love my clients. And if you read my Google reviews online, my clients love me too. But it's a win-win relationship. We really get along well as people, and we accomplish great things together. That's a fiduciary. Make sure your fiduciary is independent. The only name on their business card is theirs. That's the rule. Ask a fiduciary for their business card, and if there's any other name, especially if it's in bigger print higher up, that's who they work for. And, you can draw your own conclusions about that, but that's who cuts their paycheck. That's who butters their bread. Right? Okay. And we talked about duty of care and loyalty. That you really want somebody who feels that way. That it's not just some legal responsibility, but it's ethical and it's emotional. It's a real genuine feeling from a real genuine person about taking care of you. Really caring about you. And I know we all get cynical in the world today when somebody says we care, but the fact that I've been doing this 43 years, I must be doing something right. And what I do right at the end of the day, if I had to put it down to one sentence, is I care about my clients. I love my clients. Okay, so we'll leave it on that high note. Again, I hope you always learn something from these videos. That's the point. I love to teach. Hopefully each video there's just one nugget that you can pull and say, that was worth the price of admission. My name is Fraser Allport. My website is Fraser, F-R-A-S-E-R, Allport, A-L-L-P-O-R-T, FraserAllport.com. My life story, everything is on my website. Services, credentials, experience, my bio, YouTube channel, and my Google reviews from my clients. See, it takes my breath away. My number in Daytona Beach, we'll close here, 386-882-6256. Again, 386-882-6256. Folks, I wish you well. Peace.